Have you ever been stuck between two options that both seem perfect, but for totally different reasons? That's exactly where we are today. On one side, the Triumph Speed 400 Sleek, quick, with that British charm that turns heads without even trying. On the other, the Royal Enfield Guerrilla 450 Bold, modern, urban, and packed with attitude. These two bikes just hit the streets and they're already shaking things up. Fans are taking sides. One's light, fast, and refined. The other's rugged, confident, and full of edge. So the big question is, which one is right for you? Now, the answer isn't that easy. Sure, some differences are obvious, but the real story comes out when you ride. When you feel the engine, hear it roar, lean into the corners. That's when the personality of each one really shows. And here's the kicker. There's one thing that almost no one is talking about. A detail that has nothing to do with specs or numbers ... But it might just change everything. We'll get to that later. First, we've got to break these two down, side by side. Strengths, flaws, and everything in between. So stick with me till the end, because what you're about to learn might totally flip your decision. Let's see what these two machines are really made of. Right off the bat, these two bikes couldn't look more different. The Speed 400 is all about clean lines and modern classic vibes. It has that minimalist charm, simple, but sharp. The tank has soft curves, the paint job is top-notch, and everything feels polished, almost premium. Then you look at the Guerrilla 450, and it's a whole different story. This one's built to stand out. Taller stance, muscular tank, more angular lines. It doesn't try to be subtle, it wants to look tough. And it pulls it off. The Speed 400 keeps things elegant with a refined headlight and bar end mirrors. It's got that timeless British silhouette. Meanwhile, the Guerrilla goes full urban assault mode with a bold LED headlight, upright bars, and more aggressive detailing. In terms of finish, Triumph has the edge. The quality of materials and the attention to detail show. But the Guerrilla punches back with a design that screams personality. It looks like it's ready for anything. This isn't just about taste. It's about what kind of statement you want to make on the street. Clean and classy or bold and battle ready. Looks are one thing, but how a bike feels when you're riding it. That's where the story really starts. The Speed 400 puts you in a slightly forward-leaning position. Not extreme, just sporty enough to make you feel connected to the road. The seat is low and narrow, making it super accessible for riders of all sizes. In city traffic, it feels light and easy to handle. Now the Guerrilla 450 goes in a totally different direction. The handlebars are wider and higher, giving you a more upright, relaxed posture. The seat is a bit taller and offers more cushion. That means more comfort on longer rides or rougher roads. It's built for city battles and weekend escapes. In tight spaces, the Speed wins with agility. But when the road gets rough, when you just want to cruise, the Guerrilla feels more forgiving. It soaks up the bumps, and you sit with that king of the road vibe. Neither one is uncomfortable, but they serve different types of riders. One whispers performance, the other speaks comfort. The question is, what do you value more when you're in the saddle? Let's talk power. The Triumph Speed 400 runs on a 398cc single-cylinder engine that puts out 40 horsepower. It's got a quick throttle response, loves to rev, and delivers a smooth linear power band. You twist the grip and the bike answers fast, no hesitation. That makes the Speed a blast in the city and even more fun on twisty roads. It wants to be pushed. The gearbox is slick, the clutch is light, and the engine just begs you to roll on the gas. Now the Guerrilla 450 also brings 40 horsepower to the table, but it does it differently. Its new Sherpa 450 engine is tuned with more torque, about 40 Newton meters, so the power comes in earlier. You feel it pulling strong even at low RPMs. That makes it easier to ride at lower speeds and more comfortable in stop-and-go traffic. On paper, they match in power, but on the road, they feel very different. The Speed 400 is quicker off the line and more responsive at high revs. The Guerrilla feels meatier in the mid-range. It doesn't need to be revved out to deliver a punch. If you're chasing that sportier ride with quick reactions, the Speed takes the lead. But if you want smooth, torquey, everyday power, the Guerrilla might just win you over. This is where the ride really speaks. The Speed 400 is all about agility. Its chassis is compact and well-balanced, making it super nimble in corners. It almost feels like it reads your mind you need. It follows. It's light, flickable, and super responsive. Its suspension setup leans more toward the sporty side. That means great feedback and control in turns, but it does get a bit firm over rough roads. You'll feel more of the bumps, especially on bad pavement. The Guerrilla 450, on the other hand, plays a different game. It's not as sharp in curves, but it's incredibly stable. It soaks up potholes, speed bumps, and bad roads without blinking. That's thanks to longer travel suspension and a slightly higher stance. It feels more planted, more relaxed, like it's built to cruise over city chaos without flinching. It might not carve corners like the Speed, but it handles itself with confidence. So what's your ride style? Sharp and precise, or smooth and stable? That's the real choice here. Both bikes handle well, just with totally different personalities. Technology isn't just about looking cool, it's about making the ride smarter, safer, and more fun. The Speed 400 keeps things simple. It's got a semi-digital display with an analog speedo and a digital info screen. You get the essentials: gear position, fuel gauge, trip meter. Nothing flashy, but it's clean and easy to read. It also comes with dual-channel ABS and a switchable traction control system, which is a big plus for a bike in this category. No riding modes, no Bluetooth, but honestly, that's part of its charm. It's focused on riding, not distracting. Now the Guerrilla 450, different story. It's fully loaded. Full-color TFT screen, smartphone connectivity, turn-by-turn nav, USB charging. It's a tech lover's dream. And it's not just for show. You also get riding modes, switchable ABS, and even an off-road mode that lets you lock out the rear ABS. That's next-level versatility. If you want something modern, connected, and packed with options, the Guerrilla delivers. But if you prefer a no-nonsense machine that focuses purely on the ride, the Speed 400 might feel more honest. Let's talk numbers. The Speed 400 comes in with a pretty aggressive price tag. Triumph launched it to be competitive, and for what it offers, especially the build quality, it's a solid deal. It's one of the most affordable ways to get into the Triumph lineup. The Guerrilla 450 costs a bit more, but it justifies that with tech, ride modes, and premium features you won't find on most bikes in this segment. It's more bike, but also more dollars. In terms of fuel economy, both are fairly efficient. The Speed 400 stretches the tank with ease, thanks to its lighter build and smooth engine tuning. The Guerrilla burns a bit more, but not enough to scare off daily riders. When it comes to maintenance, Triumph's network is growing, while Royal Enfield already has solid support in many areas. Bottom line, both bikes are manageable, but the Speed wins on upfront costs. We've compared power, style, comfort, tech, and price. But here's the truth, none of that is the real deal breaker. There's something deeper, something that doesn't show up on a spec sheet, and that's how a bike makes you feel. The Speed 400? It feels refined, precise, like it's been dialed in for riders who want that tight connection with the road. It speaks to the purist. The Guerrilla 450? It hits different. It's bold, confident, almost rebellious. It feels like a statement. This is the factor no one talks about rider identity. One of these bikes is going to align with your vibe, not because of horsepower, but because of how it fits you. That's the moment when the decision becomes clear. Not on paper, but in your gut. So here's the bottom line. If you're chasing pure ride feel, classic looks, and sporty handling, the Triumph Speed 400 is your match. It's focused, refined, and built for riders who want that direct connection. But if you want comfort, versatility, bold design and a loaded tech package, the Guerrilla 450 is calling your name. It's the kind of bike that adapts to you and stands out doing it. There's no wrong pick, only the one that fits your ride, your roads, your vibe. So, which one would you ride home today? Drop it in the comments.